apparently they've announced a Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul matchup. Did you see this at all?
Mm.
And I haven't looked in the details yet because I was going to save it and look at them now. But on the post on Instagram, it says July 20th at Cowboy Stadium in Jerry World. But Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. Does this get you to tune in? A non-boxing guy? Is this a big
Mike
enough
Tyson, I
fight?
think I saw the promo for that. And I was just like, I mean, I'm not much of a fighting person. I mean, I think Jake Paul, this is probably the most famous fighter he's fought. Um,
Yeah.
he's definitely fought some famous fighters, but this is like
No,
another
this is
level.
the yeah.
So it will be interesting. I do have a bad feeling Tyson will kill him.
Mm.
But I might tune in for that, but I'm not paying for it. I'll tell you that.
You wouldn't this if
I'm
you
not
were paying
paying.
for fights though, would you pay for this fight?
Yeah,
Like,
I probably would.
but you would tune in for
Yeah, I
this, but
mean,
you would still tune in. You're tuning in. Like, would you
yeah.
make an effort to watch this?
Yeah, I'd take a look. I'd keep an eye out.
Do you care
I'd,
about
I'd
Jake
look out for
Paul?
it.
Like, how much? Like, because he's one of those guys where I feel like people that aren't even into fighting, just if they see the highlight, they're tapped in
Yeah.
because it's Jake Paul. Like, I feel like he's got that kind of
Yeah.
draw.
Yeah, no, I keep an eye on Jake Paul because it's like a celebrity. And it's just like, how far will he take this? Like, how much of a joke will he take this? And, once Mike Tyson gives him permanent brain damage, maybe he'll give up. Like,
Hmm.
Mike Tyson's a killer. I don't know. Some people are joking he'll bite his ear again, get a
Hmm.
munch, munch, munch.
It looks like this is also going to be streaming live on Netflix,
What?
which I
No
don't.
shot.
That's what I'm reading right now. I don't
Live
know if,
sports on Netflix?
yeah, just a matter of time before they buy into the NFL, which would probably make Netflix the number one streaming service again. But I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Max is still pretty good if Max is able to
Yeah. I
make.
mean, that's why they're gonna up the price. Yeah, stream live on Netflix. What the heck?
And I'm not seeing anything about a pay per view at all.
I guess I'll watch. On Netflix? I'll watch. Oh,
Well, yeah, if it's free, I mean, you got to tune into that.
Yeah,
A free
like I've
Jake Paul
already
versus Mike
paid it.
Tyson fight.
I mean, I'm gonna tune in. That's crazy. All right. Shout out. When will Saturday? Okay, so it's a Saturday. All right.
July
AT&T Stadium
20th.
too is one of the bigger, yeah, one of the bigger stadiums in America. They're gonna have the World Cup final, I want to say in there.
Hmm.
So it's definitely that's big time. You don't just book out the
That's true. Or is
AT&T, yeah.
Jake Paul and Mike Tyson are gonna sell out AT&T Arena? That is crazy for a fight.
Stream to stream exclusively on Netflix is crazy. I think this is Netflix first big swing. I mean, are we seeing Netflix's first big swing into live sports? I mean,
Well, they've
obviously it
tried.
is. So
So they've had a couple of other live events. I know the Chris Rock had a special that they streamed live. I believe
yeah,
was it? I think it was his last special. Was not the last one because the last one he did was with at this point now it's been with Kevin Hart. They did like a little combo thing, but his last solo special I believe they streamed live. Or he did something live on Netflix, and I
yeah,
that's the one that I know of. I don't know what else they've done, but they've dipped their toe into the live stuff before. But this is
yeah.
like you're saying, definitely their first live sports. So this is like now with the media rights deals for these other leagues that are going to be emerging, Netflix, the fact that they're willing to commit to something means that they're probably going to be a player in these bidding wars, which is something that I don't know if it's been it definitely hasn't been confirmed, but I don't know if it's been as alluded to as this would probably make it, right? Because if they're doing this, then there's no way you wouldn't do this and then not bid for one of the other big leagues, right?
Yeah, it will be interesting to see. It seems so far it was last year when they started doing, like you mentioned, the Chris Rock um thing. I guess there's also Netflix Slam. They have they had a a match. Um, I guess it was Nadal against Indian Wells.
Hmm. Oh, at Indian Wells?
Yeah, so it was no, or no. It was a exhibition match between Nadal and Carlos Alcaraz, but pretty much tennis.
Yeah.
Um, and they're trying little things. They're trying, I guess it was, yeah, Netflix Slam, so it was like a tennis match, pretty much, and it was the second ever live streaming. Oh, so the other thing, the first thing that they did, which they did last year, was a golf event between PGA Tour players and F1 players. It was a live
Hmm.
show, and then Netflix Slam. So this might be the third thing, and it is interesting that they're doing all the non-conventional sports. Not the big four. With golf, with F1 being involved in that one, even though, and they made their first big splash into sports with Drive to Survive. And then
Yeah.
now with Netflix Slam and with this big fight in boxing, it seems like they're not really going with those big ones because I mean, there's just the money to get into NBA, NFL, even MLB. I mean, do you really want to invest in hockey? The money
But
for that is
but I
crazy.
would guess
So
my guess would be the rights would have to be available too. Like it just has to
yeah,
be
that too.
the year to be able to get in on it. So they're just dipping they're getting in where they can get in. So the fact that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. The fact they are actually are committing to now starting to really ramp up and do the live sports means that they
yeah,
I just it would make sense if you're gonna do live sports. Why wouldn't you want the best stuff? And the best stuff is the
yeah,
NFL and the NBA.
yeah. But yeah, it is interesting. They're trying. I mean, they kind of have to. That's why they've seen lack of growth in their subscribership, and they got to start justifying 15 to how much is it now? Like $15, 16, 17 a month. It's
Is that for
crazy.
like ad free or whatever? I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't feel like I pay that much for Netflix.
Yeah, it's like $15.
The sleeper good one, right? I'm telling you, I know we did the streamer rankings a while ago and you were hating on me for 11 Paramount Plus so much, but I'm still back in. It's
Well,
great. It's great.
I'm kind of, yeah.
There's no ads. It's like $5 a month. It's got almost every Eddie Murphy movie ever, or all
Yeah.
the good ones.
It's getting there. So there is a $23 plan with Netflix if you want
Is it like a
4K
family plan?
HDR, spatial audio. No, if you want the best stuff,
Spatial
spatial
audio?
audio. Yeah, immersive sound. You can watch four things at
So
the same
that
time.
better be like a Vision Pro version of the Netflix.
Yeah, it's 4K HDR. But
That
that's the
better
thing is it's only stuff that supports it.
Yeah, that's true. I probably don't need to sign up for
And
the
like
4K Netflix.
yeah, like you're like 1080p is plenty.
It really
It's
is.
plenty.
Is
Yeah, I
that the
know.
next step up? I guess they don't really do anything and they don't really shoot anything in 2K.
Yeah.
Kind of
Yeah, that
useless.
is the next. Yeah. Yeah, no one uses 2K, yeah. It's 1080 or 4K. Well, and there's no like really screens out
And
there for
especially if you
2K.
watch so
Like
much stuff on your phone anyways.
yeah.
Most of it
Usually
seems
maxes out at 1080 at 720.
and it seems like most of the time when people say this is 4K, it's just really saturated. It's just like a super saturated video, more so than high
Yeah.
def. It's just like, okay, we really
Well, there's
cranked up the
like
colors on this.
yeah, I mean there and that's where you have the difference between frame rate and resolution, blah blah blah, You start getting in the weeds. Um, but anyway,
But
shout
Netflix
out to
is the
Netflix.
last of the streamers to get into it because Paramount Plus has live sports as well. They've had football all season.
Well,
It,
Disney Plus. I
that's
mean, I guess
true, but it's
technically they're connected with ESPN
and
plus,
if and if they do the and if they're doing the Hulu thing, then if they
yeah.
merge the live, the Hulu has the live TV package where you can get ESPN
Hulu
and
has
stuff.
live
So
sports.
Hulu does have live sports. So maybe ESPN can have live sports because Hulu has live sports.
Shout out. That's some crazy marketing by Hulu. They're just like, screw it. You're just gonna say Hulu has live sports.
They haven't paid us yet.
Hey, look.
IT
Yeah,
bleep
once
every time
let's
we
let's
bleep out
we
every time we say Hulu has live sports because they're not paying us.
Bleep it. We did talk Mike Tyson, Jake Paul. Did you have something about no UFOs?
Well, there's been some especially today as well too. Like we said, we're recording this Friday night. There was some news reports that were saying that apparently there was a deep dive investigation by the Pentagon, and the Pentagon said that there was no evidence that the US was covering up any sort of alien or extraterrestrial tech or information or any kind of UFO stuff. They basically said the government had nothing on UFOs. Now, this is a government
Interesting.
organization saying the government is
Mm-hmm.
nothing on UFOs, but
Yeah,
they
exactly.
were really stressing this is a big investigation. This is really important, blah, blah, blah. And, there's a lot of people that would say that just in general, the idea of UFOs being, connected to the military and projects like that is more realistic than
Mm-hmm.
them actually being UFOs. But I mean, Sam, you got to believe in UFOs a little bit.
Yeah, I believe that there's flying objects that go unidentified. But it is kind of dumb that we take a report from the secret agency of the government about the secrets of the government. Like, yeah, what are they supposed to say? Actually, you guys got us. You guys got us. Like, you bring in the journalists. We got a couple back here in the back. Like this is like when you go to the store and there's nothing in the front, and they're like, "Can you check the back?" And then they just go and mess
Mm.
around. Like but even if there is stuff in the back, you're not gonna swallow your pride and be like, "Yeah, you got." Like, come on, like they're not. This is something that they're not gonna give up on, and yeah, I don't know why anyone would trust a report from the government about this. Like, they have zero reason to tell the truth, even if it is the truth. Personally, do I believe in UFOs? I don't know. I don't know if there's intelligent life out there. I don't know. It's a
Sam says
question
it's
mark.
too big for me.
It's just like, is there? I don't think there is, but I haven't gotten enough evidence to believe there is. But it is a big universe.
It just seems like there have been people that have definitely encountered certain things, and I'm not talking about like abduction people. There's definitely people that have worked on. There's been people that have been involved in reverse engineering things, and whether or not those
Yeah.
things again are foreign military things or actual UFOs is the question. But there have been people that have been involved in reverse engineering very high level tech. And like you're saying, the fact that the government is putting out a report that's saying there's no aliens, that's like the exact reason to believe that there is something that is going on, that they're just be like, let's actually just drop this and tell them no. Now, okay, ladies and gentlemen, make no mistake. The minute we start talking about the government and questioning sketchy things, Sam just got kicked out of the call. I don't even know if I can
They
say
kicked me
that
out.
because if they're
They
if they're watching and they're involved, I might be saying too much. But
they shut down my computer. They're coming
something just
after us.
happened.
It's we're on to something. Rem and Sam, you can't leave.
Ladies and gentlemen, it happened again. They just cut my mic. First
They said cut it.
they just cut Sam's computer and they just cut my mic. What just happened?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on.
Aliens, man. We
It's
start
you're seeing
questioning the
it
government.
live, live. We see it. I've never had it like that.
We've
We've
never
had
had a
one or the other
double.
happen, but not at the same time.
We've never had a double
Leave
tweet
us
like that.
alone, Pentagon.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna
Wait, is
just.
someone banging on my door right now? No, I'm playing. I'm playing.
I'm closing tabs right now.
I was joking. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All right, let's change the subject. I was trying the Vision Pro this weekend.
Oh, it's Sam's turn.
Um, we put on the Vision Pro. I'm not gonna lie, it kind of hurt my forehead. Like, it didn't quite fit on there. And like
Hmm.
the Apple employee was trying to help me out. Like, she was trying to give tips and stuff. I was like, it's not working. But whatever. It kind of hurt the
Did you
forehead.
did you
But beyond
tighten?
that,
Did you do the little knob and tighten it down?
yeah, I did the Titan, like moved it. It was dumb, but Beyond that, it was really fun to use. I will admit. I do get the thing that is kind of annoying compared to the headset that I use, where you have to look at it to, have it work. Like you can't like point at stuff and kind of look away, which makes sense because that's how it tracks
Oh,
everything. But it is really
you have to.
smooth. It
You
runs
can't
really well.
disconnect.
Yeah, yeah. I did really like the 3D video. I wish I could have gotten up and gone into it, like because you can walk into stuff.
Did you get Alicia Keys?
Um, yeah, she was right
Yeah.
there in front of me. It was crazy.
I was
It
like,
was crazy.
my heart was pounding.
Yeah. What about when you were on the mountain? Were you scared at all on the tightrope?
No, I was more nervous in front of Alicia Keys.
Wow. Okay. Okay. That's funny. But I did like the 3D video. I liked what I saw. It was a really good tool, and I understand why people like it. Really excited for the future. Would I use this as an everyday tool? Not really. I mean, maybe that was more because of the fit
Hmm.
on my head. It didn't really fit well, but it did. I could feel the weight. It was heavy. It was something I anticipated. It's something I was looking out for though. So, but yeah, they cut my time too. They only gave me like 12 minutes. I was mad, but
Oh,
it was pretty nice. It was pretty nice to use. Use the UI, like have like my hands at my sides. Like I didn't have to like, and I think
yeah.
that's the issue. One of the VR ones, especially with the hand gestures on Meta, is you have to have like your hands like in clear and like do the motion over and over and over. But there it was very easy, as long as your hands weren't hiding. And yeah, I tried it out, and I mean, is it I don't know if I could see myself walking around and being like, hey, this is me now. Especially with you could see the color scale, something else I was looking out for, how much of the colors could I see? And it wasn't like that. I could tell it was only half the colors. But I am excited to see future products, at $1,000, really useful tool. You have a little money. I don't know. We'll see. Do you get a
Yeah?
PS6 or get a PS5 or a Vision,
No way.
Apple Vision?
If you're a mature person, you have to get a Vision Pro. You can't get a
I'm
video
just
game
saying.
console.
Exactly. I mean, plus the PS5 is, it's like the PS4, it's not that old. Why would you upgrade for a new one?
Is the
I'm
Spider-Man
just
game
saying.
in NCAA football worth more than a Vision Pro?
I don't know. NCAA double football.
In
No,
GTA?
no.
What else do you need if you have
Oh,
those
GTA
three?
6?
Okay, GTA
GTA
6,
6?
you get a PS5 with GTA 6, NCAA football, and what was the other one?
Spider-Man. Spider-Man
Spider-Man
2.
game. Would you take that over the Vision Pro?
Just came out with the new update.
FIFA?
Yeah. I don't know. FIFA, okay, man. You can't. Yeah, I'm folding. FIFA, I'm
Okay, so
folding.
you take all the
I'm
games
still
away.
I'm still playing it.
Would you just take FIFA over the Vision Pro?
Yeah, yeah. I take FIFA. Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's good though, because I mean,
Yeah,
you could actually get the FIFA game.
man, exactly. I'm folding. FIFA, I'm folding. No, but it's crazy. I don't know. How much would you spend for the Vision Pro? Like right now, like we're not trying to check your bank account, but how much would you, if you had like decent amount of money, like, you had some money to spend, how much do you think the Vision Pro would be worth buying?
I mean, if I could afford it, I'd buy it right now. I
Oh,
would
so you
just
think
get
it's
it.
worth it? You're
Yeah,
you're
I would
worth
just get it.
300, 600. Okay.
If I could afford it, if I had an
That's a big
office,
purchase.
I was talking to my cousin about this. If I had an office and I had like 3 or 4 computers, like
It
a
was a
good
work
size office,
expense.
yeah, would I just sell all the computers and get the Vision Pro instead? I'd really consider it.
Oh my gosh.
I'd
How
have to
many
see.
computers would you sell before? How many computers is a Vision Pro worth? Like three,
Oh
four?
yeah, for sure. If you're running them, especially, I mean, even if it's one nice computer, I don't know how much the big like you get a monitor and then you
Yeah.
have to get the actual computer.
Yeah.
I forget what the Apple computer is actually called, but the
Wow.
iMac whatever thing you get that in the monitor and all the equipment. It might be way more than $3,500. So it might be worth more than one computer. It definitely is because you can do
Yeah.
multiple computer things on it. So it's definitely worth more than one. I'd say worth more
Man,
than
give this
two.
guy an Apple employee shirt. He's trying to sell it.
I just think it's a lot of fun to use.
Damn.
I just like the way it all works. The fact that it follows your eyes and you can flick it around and the multiple screens. It's just fun to use.
Yeah. No, it is. It is really fun to use. I don't
And
know, but
like I said,
do you have a Quest?
it fits good for me. No, my cousin has a VR headset. So I've,
Oh,
used that a
okay, okay.
couple
So you're not
times.
a VR user. Okay.
No, not
Because
really.
it is interesting. That's one of the things with tech is like, are you going from like, iPhone, an iPhone 14 to 15 or an iPhone 8 to 15 or how
Mm.
much is the big of the jump? So like something like this, are you going from no VR to VR with this? Or are you going from like, a pretty new Quest, which is something I'm going to go through, to a Vision Pro, that jump that you're making. Yeah, and I mean, for you, it makes sense, save up. Maybe you have to take a small loan.
I'd
Shout
sell
out
my phone.
Apple.
I'd
Would
consider
you sell
sell.
a kidney for Vision Pro?
No, I don't think I'd sell a body part. But I wouldn't get frostbite for a playoff game
Yeah,
either.
plasma.
So it's
Yeah,
it would all
that's crazy.
it would all even out. But
I feel bad for him. That's actually sad.
I would consider selling my phone. I was looking
Hmm.
because I was having to look to get some maybe like a second computer or iPad or something anyway. So I was looking to see like if I did sell my phone and the computer that I have now and another thing and put the money that I was going to use, like if I was get could I collect the funds to get a Vision Pro with things like
Exactly.
could it make sense? Because I was like, I could actually do Zoom calls on the Vision Pro and I know it's not you, it's like the avatar, but you can like make the whole thing work. But it would definitely be a stretch and definitely not an economical thing to do. But I don't know. You don't think working, especially, yourself too, working in the online space the way you do, you don't think that you could use it in that way?
No, I could. Well, not at my current job. I mean, the programs I use are like too heavy for it, like Premiere Pro, Lightroom, like stuff like that. But and then
That
like trying to
you can't
post
run that
stuff,
stuff
but
on there yet?
I don't think you. Oh yeah, you can, but you would have to get like you would have to do like you have it set up on your laptop, your Mac laptop, and then you would have that screen on yours. Like you'd be pretty much using that, and then you would just need the mouse and thing.
So
So it'd just be a window from.
you're not running
Yeah,
it from the Vision Pro, you're running it from the
yeah. You're
computer
like
and
streaming it from there.
streaming it
Yeah,
from your Vision
exactly.
Pro. Oh, okay. So you know what?
Yeah.
That actually really changes my opinion on it. I'm not gonna lie. That really changes my opinion on it. 'Cause if
I don't
you-
know if you can. I know like they were talking about I don't know if your computer has to be on, but
no,
I
and
know what's his
that
face
makes
was
it
talking about it.
that makes a ton of
MKHDD.
sense. That makes a ton of
Marcus.
sense. And I would actually,
Yeah.
I'm not knocking it. I wouldn't put that down as a con for it. But just for me personally, that
Yeah.
actually does change how I would view it as of right now. Just in terms of actually me getting it,
Yeah.
not in terms of how I think about it, but in terms of me getting it. Because if I can't get a thing that actually processes the apps, like if I have to get that and then a second computer, then it's actually not really economical. But if you
I don't
have
know.
the,
Maybe you can just use it straight up on there.
yeah, am I back
I
in?
don't know. That's what people are saying. Are we back in? Are we all in? I don't know. Let's see. They're saying any app with the iPad version can work on the Vision Pro. So it'd be the iPad version of
Oh,
DaVinci, Premiere Pro,
okay.
all that.
So it'd be like running like the mobile stuff then.
Yeah.
That makes sense as well. Yeah. Can I get
So
Hill
I
Climb
guess you
Racer?
could. You could do Premiere Pro in VR. So I was wrong. I could do.
That's what I'm saying. If now knowing that you could run Adobe, if you could edit,
Oh snap. Are
do a
we
little
in? Am I
design,
selling my car? Am I walking to work?
get a Vision Pro and a scooter, that's a better life.
I mean, people love, yeah, editing. It's a thing. Oh my gosh.
Are people say it works good too? There's good reviews on it.
Yeah, there's some dude who claims to be the Adobe's senior community relationship manager. I don't know. He says editing in Premiere Pro using the Apple Vision Pro is a dream come true. Doing it with a huge screen, super crisp. Yeah, I mean, and
IT,
then all
take
you
out
do
every
is pretty much clicking and typing. You know, you have the keyboard and all that.
take out everything bad I said about the Vision Pro. I'm not only am I back in, I'm more in than
I'm
ever.
in. Me too. We're in. We're in together. We need a sponsor us. Well, I'll do the podcast like Josh Hart with the Vision Pro.
That's what I'm saying. I think we can do Zoom calls with the Vision Pro. I think we can record it with Vision
Yeah.
Pros.
Yeah, you can record it. It's just how long is that video? And it's going to be such a big file because it'll be like the spatial. Yeah.
Can we record it non-spatial? I can sell the new record I just got as part of the package. I think that's worth $10 more on Amazon than what I bought it for.
Uh,
So that's at least some profit.
how to use, shout out YouTube. Let's see what they got.
For what?
How to use Premiere Pro or Vision. Oh, this video was
Oh, do they have a
edited on
demo?
the Vision Pro.
Can you pull up a
Yeah,
demo?
you can look on YouTube. Let's see here.
If people haven't tried
Okay,
the
so
actual Vision Pro demo, it is actually worth just going to try and just seeing where the technology is at. I think it is interesting, and I think some of would you say the immersive video alone is worth just checking out? Again, not necessarily buying, but just if you have a chance to go check it out, it's pretty cool and it's pretty realistic.
yeah, no, it's great. It's great. So there is what they call DaVinci, which is
Yeah,
another
yeah,
editing. Yeah.
yeah. Shout out our
Well,
editing heads.
oh, do you want to enable screen share? It was just a new meeting because we took a break. Shout out to our editing crew, just IT crew, also Rem, getting everything up, making stuff easier. Well, here's one way they can make it easier is with
So
the
this is
Vision
editing
Pro.
on the Vision Pro.
Yeah.
On this
All right, let's get past the intro.
because this isn't a product that Apple's ever made before.
Blah 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 blah.
My heartbeat was genuinely racing, and I haven't experienced that with
Okay,
like the
let's
Meta
get into
Quest. I just
the editing. What we're
obviously,
using.
and then using it on an airplane. I haven't flown on an airplane yet today. Literally just got these, but I did edit an entire unboxing video on the goggles, again with no MacBook attached, and I'm actually really impressed.
No
So after I set
MacBook.
it up, I went to the App Store, downloaded DaVinci Resolve,
Oh, so you
started
just download it.
immediately.
Okay,
Since we already filmed that unboxing footage, I had Bryson actually airdrop me,
Like you said, though, it was the iPad
Wow.
version.
color, and then edit inside of DaVinci Resolve.
Wow.
So the go-to way of actually using this system is obviously with your eyes and your hands, but you can also hook up a keyboard
Yeah,
and a
a
mouse,
keyboard
or
and a
at least
mouse,
trackpad.
like an
I try to
actual
hook up my
mouse.
Logitech MX Master 3S, which is my go-to mouse for editing, and actually pretty much anything. But when I connected it via Bluetooth, it did connect, and then it immediately trackpad.
All
Like
right,
I actually have
right.
an extra mouse that I travel.
All right. Let's see some actual
Pretty good
editing.
experience. I'd probably rate it like a 7 out of 10. It's
7
really
out
not
of 10.
bad. I'm still gonna use
That's
my
good.
laptop to edit.
I'm in. That's all I needed.
It's less tiring on my eyes. I don't feel like I'm looking through goggles.
I'd be
but
going
it's
from
still
a
totally
Chromebook. A Chromebook's a 4 out of 10.
Pro M3 and use
Yeah.
the screen share.
No, shout out my Chrome. The one I have right now is not a
That's
Chromebook.
crazy.
It's great.
Shout out. That's crazy.
Or
Anyway,
editing or
7
doing
out
any
of
sort
10.
of work is the environment around you is actually pretty distracting. Super loud.
I feel like this would actually make me even way more unproductive because he wasn't really showing it. But
Yeah.
again, for those that have used the Vision Pro, you can have multiple windows open. So the amount of just
Yeah.
YouTube and NBA videos, but the multiple
it'd be-
NBA videos, and you got to the part of the
Yeah.
interactive experience where you were watching the soccer game live. I obviously not live in the video, but like it was live. Watching live sports off it is going to be insane in the future as well too. Watching the NFL on Netflix on the Vision Pro is the future.
It is. I mean, I can't wait for the court side, you know,
Yeah.
courtside, seeing the game. There's also, they showed some of the soccer games. That's a crazy view. That's a view that's
Yes.
not on highlights. That's not a view you ever see,
Well, because
really.
you're
So
actually right
yeah,
on top of the goal.
yeah, that's crazy. I mean, imagine like football. Like you get the all 22. You're just like on a drone in the middle of the air. You're watching the Super Bowl and all 22 just floating up there. I mean, would you pay $150 to watch the Super Bowl like that? $100? That'd be crazy. I mean,
150?
a lot cheaper than a seat, a lot cheaper than being in the stadium.
That would be a steal if I could just pay for 150. I mean, obviously you have to buy the Vision Pro, so
Yeah,
$3,500 and $150.
but you're
But
using that all over. Yeah.
once you have the Vision Pro, 150 would be a steal for that ticket.
Yeah.
That would actually be so. I feel like that would be so beneficial for the sports leagues because, like you're saying, you're buying a ticket for less than some people are getting a better view. Now, obviously, being actually courtside is a totally different experience, but the optics, the angle is in some views a better angle. So if you're getting that for a cheaper price, that's more
Yeah.
accessible. You might be able to reach a bigger audience. And obviously you're reaching a bigger audience because you're reaching the people outside of the arena as well too.
Yeah. No, I'm the possibilities are endless. Very endless. It is crazy what could possibly be done with it. And yeah, I don't know. I can't wait. I can't wait to see the possibilities. It's very clear that this is a product meant for living life, but it would be interesting to imagine if they came out with, maybe a controller or something to play video games. What if you had, video games on that screen, on that big screen, and you just had a controller to play with? You're not moving, but like, you're moving stuff in there. Or
Mm.
VR games as well. Mm, it'd be interesting. I definitely am all in on that. Like I would be if they came out with like being able to connect controllers to it, and then you could play like video games in that headset, and then be able to switch to that, to movies, to switch back to work, to switch back to, then now we're talking about territory where I'd actually get it, because then at that point it does become an everything tool, because
Yeah.
now you don't need any gaming system. You can just play on it. Or maybe you could stream, like now all the big consoles, you can stream onto there the games. Like you just have some server run all the hard work and you stream on there. And then now you already have like the infrastructure, like we mentioned, of the editing and stuff. Maybe the social media apps, you start working better, stuff like that. I think it could be and then being able to switch from AR to VR is what makes this really different. Being able to switch that easily to see what's around you and have windows put somewhere and stay there is what takes it to another level compared to the meta, where you're kind of stuck once you're in that world.
So you think the gaming community is the place to go with it? Like, so your one big addition for it would be number one draft pick would be a controller. I mean, obviously for you, but just like in general.
Yeah. I think as a hardware, I think it would be what would get, I think it'd be a good way to build a solid foundation of an audience. And then once you're able to start bringing gamers, then you start bringing in once you really finalize that entertainment part of it, then you can start bringing in the work parts of it, where you start getting into more of the weeds, because I think the gaming is the what you can bring in a big audience with. I think you can bring a big audience to convince them to go there, also for like what we mentioned with those with the videos, with the live sports and stuff. And probably the new ones are going to bring down the price a bit, make it $1,000, make a cheaper version. We'll see. But I think the entertainment side is somewhere they should focus, and then be able to start broadening it out, because they already have some of the work stuff in there already. Like you can do emails, you can do stuff.
And like that guy was saying in that video too, where he was hooking up he already had Apple equipment that can hook up to it to help add to his editing experience in the Vision Pro. And if we're being honest, like the gaming stuff as well too is the stuff that's actually addictive when it comes to technology. and actually the stuff that keeps you engaged with the stuff. Like if you're marketing it for work, like for most Americans, they don't, you're not going to be involved and invested in your work the same way you're going to be invested in your game. And I'm not, saying that in a judgmental way. I'm just saying like the addiction and like, everything is like with Netflix and with YouTube, all this stuff is, can we keep you on the app? Can we keep your, and engagement levels? Can we keep the engagement levels up? And for Vision Pro users, can we keep people using the Vision Pro? And they're probably going to be more inclined to spend long stretches of it, with entertainment and gaming and stuff like that than they are with work.
Yeah. No, and I think that's the thing is with entertainment, you can keep people on there for more hours. Making it more popular for advertisers, making more money. And you can also and then and it's easier to make it seem as something that people want instead of something people need, like, I mean, something, and then you turn from want to, and then once you bring in that work stuff, you make it into something people need. But, instead of, showing it as everyday life, I think that kind of scares people when you look at, when you look at like the kid looking at the person with their eyes and stuff like that. I think you kind of scare people with the utopian future, but
it is kind of being branded as a lifestyle.
Exactly, and that's kind of scary, but because Apple is such a brand, I mean, it's just a different level, It doesn't matter if they're competing with Facebook and all that because they're just different. They're just better, more well known than Facebook. It's just for hardware stuff, and there's Apple disciples out there. And once they get the integration better with like the phone, like one of the things is like you can't really see text messages from phones and text and stuff from phones and stuff. Like it's not good at showing phone stuff. So once it gets better at that too, it'll be it'll be the only way's up.
If you can message and then basically replace your phone with it, again, then it becomes a cost thing where, now it's my phone and my laptop in one. And then it becomes easier for
phone,
the
laptop,
person
game
to
system,
justify. Yeah.
Yeah, but don't do the parent looking at their kids with that. Don't do that ever again. I'll tell you that right now. You want to scare our families and start. Don't do that. Don't do that shot ever again.
Maybe
I'll
wait.
tell you right now. Yeah, maybe maybe give it a little bit. Now, I mean, but it's a lot of, what do they call it? Earned media. I mean, I've just seen like a lot of videos. I think people are interested because it's kind of the future. It's something different, and Apple hasn't done something different in a long time. And but they've continued to raise themselves at the standard. Yeah,
they just did one thing, right?
Yeah, and I mean, like, some people were talking about was like the watch.
The watch.
Yeah, like the first watch, it wasn't great, but you like look at other watches, their Apple Watch, but the other ones are continue to improve. So it's just well, it'll continue to improve.
And it's already, if it goes up from here, it's kind of like Victor Wembanyama. If this is the worst Victor Wembanyama's ever going to be, it'll be fine.
Exactly. It'll be just fine.
The Apple Vision Pro is definitely putting up the 5x5 games in its first season.
Oh my goodness. All right. Let's see here. You Shadow Vision Pro. Moving on to Ultimate Frisbee corner. Hyped up Smoky Mountain, and it did not disappoint. Dark Side takes their first loss. The number 1 seed takes their first loss of the season in a Nationals rematch against UMass, who go on to the second ranked team, who goes on to win the tournament. Let's see here. And the rankings have been updated. UMass is now number one after for what feels like forever. North Carolina is no longer the number one team in the nation. They are number three. Cal Poly Slow is number two, and then North Carolina three. Shout out JoJo for making. I think they were in that final as well. It was a close game, but yeah, it was some good matchups. Minnesota did have a rough tournament, dropped down -5. Carleton dropped 3. Brown and Oregon also dropped, but North Carolina State, I think they had a couple wins, and then who was it? Vermont and Pittsburgh were huge risers in that tournament. So just a whole lot of movement after a big tournament. But yeah, it is sad to see Minnesota drop. There was big hopes for them. And then Iowa didn't do so great on the first day at the Midwest Throwdown, but second day went undefeated, won 4 games in a row to get 9th place, and are headed down to Texas for spring break for Centex Tier B. They'll be the number 1 seed at that tournament, and they should win that tournament. It's pretty much all Texas teams in that area. So shout out. Hopefully iHuck handles business on the after the 18-hour trip. Went there last year just to finally beat. It was a very close game. Arkansas was it was probably our best win of the season, and traveled 18 hours down there just to play Iowa State, who beat us in the final. But yeah, very fun weekend. And yeah, shout out to iHuck. And then yeah, coaching hasn't started yet. They do have optional practices next week, but I will not be able to attend. But the week after, I will be at their first practice. I will be out there next week. So I will have a report in 2 weeks. We'll have Coach K.
Coach K.
We'll start getting reports. Coach K. We'll let you know how the first practice goes. Yeah. And I see there's a bunch of letters here written by Rem. Is this about the women's team or USA Women's? Shout out Emma Hayes, who's starting to coach soon.
Is this for what?
I just saw a bunch of letters. I just saw a bunch of letters and like ESPNU, MT in the rundown. I'm not sure. The women's playing. They beat Canada on Wednesday. Semifinals, beat them on penalties. They will be taking on Brazil in the Gold Cup final. So shout out to them. Shout out to them. They went into the bracket losing to Mexico 2-0. They had all this bad media, but handled business against Colombia 3-0. Get the close penalty shootout win against the neighbors up north, and we'll be taking on Brazil in the final. And yeah, it's gonna be interesting. They're right now in a season of transition, have the young players there. But yeah, I don't know. One of the people who missed on Canada, Jordan Ramenta, she used to date, I think Alfonso Davis, another Canadian player, but then broke up. She does date a baseball player right now, kind of Dominican baseball player, but she is pretty popular. Shout out the USA goalie for making a penalty. Yeah, for making one of those penalties. It's not often you see the goalie be that high up in the list. Usually they're actually the 11th person, but she was the second, I want to say. So second best penalty taker on USA is a goalie.
She's like Ohtani.
I know. She can do it all. She can block them and save them. Or, yeah, save them and score them.
Home runs, strikeouts.
Also, Champions League was this week. No real upsets. Man City and Real Madrid handled business. But Bayer Leverkusen, top team in Germany, almost had their 35 game losing streak broken. They haven't lost a game all season. Almost lost to, I think it was a team from Turkey. 2-0 at halftime, but fight back and score in extra time to keep their non-losing streak alive. So they squeak on by. They continue the march for a perfect season, which they've already broken the record for the most non-losses in a season in German soccer. So we'll see if they can be the Invincibles. I think England had only one team like that, the Invincibles, Arsenal, in recent memory. I think it was 2011. So, but yeah, that's about it on the two corners. I didn't have anything else. Shout out Pura Vida, bracelets. Shout out BetStamp. Shout out DRF SPORTSBOOK in Iowa.
BetStamp is the best.
Yeah.
I don't know why you guys wouldn't have BetStamp.
Wouldn't make sense.
I'm going to go get me a new
Sign
Pure
up right
Vida
now.
bracelet tomorrow.
There you go. Sign up right now. Sign up right now. Did you have anything else you want to bring up? Anything else in the world of sports or culture?
Do you have any
Anything
big
going on?
Oscar takes for this weekend?
No. Oh, it's happening this weekend? Shout out.
I think it's this Sunday.
Oh. We didn't even go through the nominations.
I always forget you're not an Oppenheimer guy.
Oh, yeah. Remember, Opie was all up in there.
You are a Nolan guy though, so I know
Nolan.
Oppenheimer will age well for you, and you'll look back with fond memories of this being the full on Nolan gets the, I don't know, however many Oscars he's gonna win.
it
At least a couple.
the first hour and a half? I will be happy if Cillian Murphy wins. I do like him.
Oh yeah, you're a big Cillian Murphy guy as well too.
Yeah. Did you watch Killers of the Flower Moon? Did you like it?
Not
Robert
yet.
De Niro? I think I wouldn't be surprised if Ryan Gosling wins a supporting role.
For Ken?
Yeah, I don't know. Mark Ruffalo, did you watch Poor Things? I don't think I even heard of Poor Things. Am I?
Oh, you gotta put Poor Things on your list. Emma Stone?
Oh, shout out.
I feel like it's probably gonna be either Gosling or Downey for best supporting.
No.
Would be my guess.
Yeah. Yeah, Poor Things is here a couple times.
I think
Yeah, who you got any hot takes? Emily Blunt for supporting role?
Is that a hot take?
America Ferrera. I don't know. I'm just reading names right now.
I think Poor Things is the sneaky best film. Is Oppenheimer the favorite?
Okay.
Let me pull up odds real quick.